Hobby Quick Hits. Delivering that breaking hobby news directly to your earlobes. You want to know those hot drops from the card shop? We've got you covered. With your host, John Newman.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 118 of Hobby Quick Hits. Today, a little something different. Normally it's me and a topic and we tackle it, 20, 30 minutes. And, all our hobby news and news releases, Q&A. We're not going to do all that today. We're going to do the new releases. And we typically don't have guests on the show. I had a topic all picked out, but that topic is not even anywhere near as important as what we're going to talk about today. I have two guests on Hobby Quick Hits today, Tim Virgilio and Eric Norton. You may know him, Eric from Beckett and Fat Packs, and Tim, who runs the Signatures for Soldiers charity, pro bono, does it. That's not his job. He does that out of his kindness at heart. And Eric is joining the organization as chairman. And they're, again, the official charity of this year's National in Atlantic City. And again, so when I thought about it, I'm like, this is more important than any topic we're going to tackle. So why not just have him on, talk about Eric joining the team there and, with the National coming up and then being the official charity. Let's talk about what they're going to do in Atlantic City, how things are going, and all those dynamics. And two great gentlemen, and I'm fortunate enough to call them my friends as well. So couldn't think of I didn't want to wait and get them on with the National coming up. I wanted to get them on as soon as we could get them. They're both very busy gentlemen, but made time for us and for you, and glad to have them on. And we're going to talk about all those things I mentioned. So, but this episode, as all Hobby Quick Hits episodes, is brought to you by Mojo Breaks. So we're going to hear from them. Then Owen is going to give us our new releases for the week, and then we're going to get right in with Tim and Eric talking about Signatures for Soldiers, what they're doing, and the upcoming National. Don't go away.
MojoBreakShop.com is the best place to get your sealed wax products and brakes. They not only have the best selection, but the best prices. Whether it's a box or a whole case, they are your guys. They ship worldwide to your doorstep. Their reputation as one of the most trusted in the hobby goes unmatched. They are the 2021 Topps Rip Party Champion Breakers. From sports card to Pokemon cards, their selection can't be beat. They offer daily deals and pre-orders.
Hey guys, John Newman here. Mojo's prices are already great, but to save an additional 10% off anything in their store, use the code QUICKHITS. That's QUICKHITS. Check out the full service store that's open 7 days a week in Santa Clara, California, or the website at mojobreak.com.
Let's check out this week's Hobby Wax releases. Take it away, Owen.
Hey guys, it's Owen from S4S Skirt Shop. Here are the new releases. On the 24th, we have 2022 Panini Select Baseball. On the 29th, we have 2021-22 Panini's Chronicle Soccer. On the 29th, also, we have 2022 Super Break Supercharged Edition Series 2. On the 29th, we have 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Baseball Hobby. On the 29th, also, we have 2021 Topps Chrome Platinum Anniversary Baseball Elite. On the 29th, also, again, we had 2021-22 Topps UEFA Champions League Museum Collection Soccer. And then we also have 2021-22 Upper Deck SP Authentic Hockey. And then on the 1st, we have 2022 Break Kings Premium Edition Multi-Sport. We also have 2022 Panini Chronicles Draft Picks Football. 2022 Panini Select UFC. We have, and that's it. So I'll see you guys later from the Sports Card Shop.
And now, our feature presentation.
Normally, on Hobby Quick Hits, it's just me and my big mouth, but I felt like it. We do this every year about this time, anyways. We have Tim Virgilio from Signatures for Soldiers come on and kind of give us where they're at leading into the national, and so it was about that time. And we have news from the organization. They just got a new employee and a really good one. If you ask me, and most people know him, Eric Norton from Beckett, who's now the chairman of Signatures for Soldiers. And we're going to get into all of that. But first, welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thanks,
So,
John.
Tim,
Good to be here.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for making time. I know you guys are busy. You got other things besides a lot of things that you do and besides Signatures. We always kind of start off, Tim, with sort of where we're at when this airs will be 30 days from the national. Exactly. We always do like the Jerry Lewis, Tiffany, like where is the total at?
Total right now, we are up over $146,000 raised since November of 2014. So, it just keeps going and going. Yeah, we're at 146,892.
Yeah,
So,
and that number's good. That number is going to go up because Hobbypalooza on the Bench Clear Network is going on, and I know they've raised some funds. I did my show today. I know some people super chatted funds. I plugged in, shouted you out, get the word out there. So there's that number is obviously probably going up literally as we do the show, which is a good thing. Eric, you're not new to Signatures for Soldiers. Let that be known. I know the way I did the intro, someone might say you're like brand new coming aboard. You've been actively involved with the great organization. But for those out there just wondering how it came to be, now we have an official role. And like I said, not lip service. I know both of you before this. This is just, to me, this is a match made in heaven, if you ask me. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think so too. First, I just want to thank Tim for trusting me, man. Tim and I mean this very sincerely. God placed him in my life about 7 years ago, when he was on the Beckett Radio then, and then it became the Fat Packs podcast, and then it was Beckett Live Presents, and we've grown a friendship, and I'm glad to partner with. I've always been glad to partner with him with Signatures for Soldiers, and it just so happened that tragically Mike passed away last year, and that brought us to the position where we are now, where Tim wanted to kind of branch out, make this a little more official, get that official. He can speak on that. Anyways, I'm not the only one, is what I'm trying to get at, John. I'm a part of a larger board, and there's six of us. I just happen to, and actually, we announced this back at the Mint Collective. It was kind of a quiet announcement as we announced our partnership with Pristine Auctions, and we'll get into that in just a little while. But there's actually a 6-member board now, and Tim was very gracious in offering. He reached out to all of us, said, "Hey, I really trust you guys. I want you guys on board." I think to a man, we all hopped on the opportunity, and the chairman position. It's one that I'm honored to have. There were all of us were very qualified for it, and we discussed it, and we decided that most likely a former soldier should have it, whether it be airman, a navyman, or whatever. And I fit that bill, and I was asked, and I accepted. So that's the long and the short of it. It's a position, I think, that the whole board is really just full of guys that are really going to help Signature Soldiers be pushed to the spotlight. And if I can use whatever little hobby influence I may or may not have from my years at Beckett and help push this organization that really is near and dear to my heart forward, then I'm happy to sit in this chair and make that happen.
No, I believe that. I mean, it's nice to, as a former military person yourself, thank you for your service. I mean, I think it's almost apropos, not that only someone military could hold the position, but I just think it has that sort of special meaning as someone that has served. It just brings a little more focus to that and the work that the organization and you guys do. And very gracious to, acknowledge the other people that this is not, while you might be sort of the faces, there's people even behind the scenes getting things done to get you where you need to go and where you need to be. And when I heard the announcement, I was knowing, Signatures for Soldiers and Tim, and obviously you, Eric. I just thought, man, if you would have asked me, no one did, and I didn't expect to be. But had Tim just hypothetically say, "Hey, who do you think?" And I'm not just saying this is God's not truth. I would have mentioned Eric. So when I heard that, I'm just like, that's just so ideal and so perfect. So and here we are, and we're kind of. You mentioned some of that hobby background, Eric, and I know you sort of poo-pooed your own sort of value there, but I think it's more than you sort of let on with what you said. So I'll give you the credit there. Like, what do you that hobby background? How do you think it will help? And sort of what is your day-to-day, week-to-week sort of role within Signatures for Soldiers?
I'm going to defer to Tim on my hobby background. I'll let him answer that, but only because I don't want to blow my own horn. But I'll tell you this. Right now, with my role in Signatures for Soldiers, and I think, if you look at the whole board, we'll all tell you that this month leading into the National, our role is just to make this auction with Pristine Auction as publicized as possible, and help raise funds for the organization. And we're going to do that, by utilizing social media, hopefully utilizing our relationships within the hobby, and just pushing it forward as much as we can. First of all, a partnership with Pristine Auctions is like, that's nothing to sell short. That is a great pairing, and the ability that we have now to be able to have the amount of items that we have for auction and have it run all month long. That's a much better option for us on a whole. And I believe that once this auctions go live on July 1st, so once these auctions go live and the hobby starts to see the kind of things that are being offered up, they're going to want to jump on board as well. Tim, I'm going to ask you what John asked me. How do you think my hobby experience helps this organization?
Yeah, John, I agree with you. I'm absolutely thrilled to have Eric on the board, A, and then B, to be the chairman is just kind of taking it to the next level, and I'm really excited about that. When I started looking at putting together a board to move Signatures for Soldiers into its own nonprofit status, really, looked at people that I had relationships with, people who had knowledge of the hobby, and just really have been supporting me the last almost 8 years now with what I've been doing, and obviously Eric and others fit that bill. And sometimes it's not just about, okay, what connections does this person have in the hobby? It's also about, can they make those connections that are going to be long lasting, and Eric and everybody on the board, fits that bill. I mean, I have a great bunch of guys that are just really doing this like I am, their time, their dime type thing, because they believe in what we're doing. So, having connections to the hobby has been really great, with us being Signatures for Soldiers, having been at the National, the last 3 times that it was held, now going into our 4th one. I've made and other people connected with Signatures for Soldiers have made a lot of connections in the hobby, with industry partners, and those just continue to grow, and we can always build on those relationships, and that's what Eric and rest of the board members bring to the table, is just helping me to kind of expand that. I have limited number of hours in the day, in the week, between a full-time job, being a husband, being a dog dad, everything that goes along with all of that. And then, okay, after I've made dinner and cleaned up, it's now 8 o'clock, and I've got 2 to 3 hours to get some stuff done, and and I'm back here in my cave, so to speak. So yeah, definitely bringing Eric on and others. It's just going to help us really kind of take that next step and really get it out there. And like Eric was talking about, when we announced that Pristine was going to be the auction platform for this year's National Sports Collectors Convention auction, it was, for me, that was awesome, because it was just, you're bringing one of the hobby powerhouses to the forefront to say, yeah, we're getting behind this. And like Eric said, starting July 1st, bidding is going to open up. We're going to be adding items throughout the month leading up to when it closes July 30th at the National. It's all going to be online. It's going to be online bidding. We're hoping to get 300 to 350 items in that auction, which is going to be really awesome, because last year we had about 75 items. So, as we sit here now, we've already surpassed that $75 or that 75 number. So,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of really cool items that are coming up for bid, that have been donated. So it's really, really cool. I'm really excited about it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Tim. With the previous auctions, it was really done the week of the National and on site, right? I mean, I remember even bidding on some stuff like almost like silent, but you write down your name and your bid. Someone can obviously come behind you and up the bid. Is that how it was previously done? And now with Pristine, you're moving into better territory. So.
Yeah, definitely. Last year, hand bid was the platform, and we opened the auction about a week and a half ahead of the National, and it was done online. And it was really successful. We had all the items right there at the National, so people could see them and all of that. So this year is going to be different. Pristine is housing all of the items, so they'll be at their headquarters. They're hopefully they'll bring a couple key items to kind of show off and promote what we're doing. But otherwise it's going to be completely online, and you don't need to be at the National to win or to pick up your item. It's pretty much going to be like any other auction that Pristine does. You can sit comfort of your own home, whatever you're wearing or not wearing, and go ahead and bid on the items, and you'll win it, and it gets shipped right to your door. So this is really exciting, because it's going to really just put us out in front of a whole different audience that we wouldn't have had.
Yeah, more exposure, Tim. It's going to run longer, so there's going to be more opportunities for people to see it, bid. A little less work for you to have to kind of watch the stuff or oversee it.
A lot less work. Less work. Trust me. Even now, leading up to it, it's a lot less work. I mean, Pristine has been great about it. They've said from the very beginning, Tim, just get us what items you have, and we'll handle the rest. And they really have. I'm really excited to just kind of thank the whole Pristine team in person at the National.
So, Eric, I'll ask you a question here. Like, you're usually at the National, you're going to be at this one as well. You're, in a sense, you're going to be wearing sort of two hats. I mean, what how are you going to sort of juggle, Beckett, signatures for soldiers? Are you not? Are you? And if so, how does that all? I mean, things can change. We're 30 days out, but just kind of how does your National look like?
Well, as of right now, my the majority of my time is going to be spent with Tim in the Signature for Soldiers booth, helping promote that and get it. If you're in the hobby and you don't know who Signatures for Soldiers is, it's probably because you haven't turned on Twitter in a while, or or part of the newsletter. I mean, so we wanted to help spread the word of that. I am going to have some time with Beckett that I'm going to need to fulfill, and this is a little bit of breaking news. I'll give it to you, John, here first. We're gonna have for the first time we're gonna introduce our new CEO from the main stage. So I'm gonna be conducting that interview along with we're gonna be announcing our Industry Summit Hall of Honorees inductees, and we're gonna also be speaking with Mr. Jeremy Murray, who is our president, about the changes that are taking place at Beckett right now, all the good, all the bad, and we're going to do that live from the main stage. Not sure what day yet, but there'll be more announcements on that to come. But this is an opportunity for Beckett to put their best face forward and just be out there with our new leadership, which we're going to do. But this is more of an opportunity for me to sit back there and watch Tim try to shuffle all his cards around and sell as much as he can.
Yeah, and I that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with not only me but everyone listening to the show as well. Tim, I'll remind people. I know this. You know this. Eric knows this. When you started this venture, if you will, your goal was $500.
Yeah,
and I laugh just saying it, right? Because like in the open, you just said what you're up to, over $140,000 and rising. And obviously we haven't even got to the Nationals. So that number is going to go significantly up.
Yeah. I mean, when I started it, I tell people all this all the time, it was just, okay, let me raise a couple dollars for a charity I believe in to help homeless and disabled veterans. And just how people have rallied behind this. When I started it, it didn't have a name. It didn't have a logo. I didn't have this big business plan on how to grow it and develop it. It was just literally me sitting in my living room one night watching Thursday night football and just said, hey, let me go ahead and do this and see what happens. And, even now I'm at a loss for words that, with the amount of people, athletes, people in the hobby, the companies in the hobby that have just all rallied behind this and just said, yeah, Tim, yeah, I'll help you do this. And it's been amazing. It's been absolutely, I really can't describe it any other way. It's been amazing.
Yeah, you brought up something I wanted to touch on. You have a lot of athletes that have rallied behind Signatures for Soldiers and been very generous. Probably too many to name them all, but you always have some new ones kind of joining the cause every year. And any you kind of want to highlight that maybe some new additions that are helping Signatures for Soldiers that maybe you want to just kind of acknowledge and for those everyone's wondering what they're going to see at the Signatures for Soldiers table, right? Maybe some new representation as well as all the great people that do it every year. Just an opportunity.
I'm trying to rack my old man brain here and go, okay, who's jumped on board recently? Jim McMahon, Chicago Bears quarterback. A guy doesn't need any introduction. He's signed a handful of cards for us. Recently, I
put you on the hot seat. I didn't warn you that question was coming.
You did, and I asked you. I'm like, hey man, anything I need to prepare ahead of time? No, we're good. So, Tim, here's one.
But yeah, I got to keep you on your toes,
Really.
But there are, and people could obviously a little plug like come to the Signature Soldiers booth, and all those answers become obvious. You have a lot of great athletes and people that graciously donate that for the cause, and people get to sort of it's a win-win, right? You get something autographed, and the money is going 100% to a great cause. And that's another thing. I say it every year, and I'm going to say it again this year because it's important to note that. All charities, or I want to say most charities, the majority of charities are all worthy and great. But in this case for Signatures for Soldiers, all the money goes to the cause. And not every charity can hang their hat on that hook. You guys can, and I think it's something to be said. You do this out of the kindness of your heart, like you mentioned earlier. Your husband, a dad, you have a 9-to-5 job, as most of us do, and you started this, with that 500 goal in mind, and obviously have shattered that to where you are now. And so I know people who know you, they're like, yeah, we know this, but there's Eric knows from content creation. There's a lot of people who listen maybe for the first time. I think we need to highlight that and illustrate that. So I wanted to mention.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned that. Yeah, Signatures for Soldiers, as we move into becoming our own nonprofit, it's remaining 100% volunteer. So there is no paid salary. So I take no money. Eric takes no money. The board takes no money. It's going to be self-sustaining, and the money is, what we're going to do with the money is just continue to get it in the hands of the people who are doing the great work to help homeless and disabled veterans. So that this way we can make sure that these men and women are taken care of.
Yeah, no doubt. I know one of the things, you do a lot of things, but one of the things that, building even wheelchair ramps to make homes wheelchair accessible for injured veterans. I mean, that always gets me a little choked up, if not tears falling. And, sometimes we forget about these men and women when things are sort of settled down, out of sight, out of mind. But that stuff never out of sight and out of mind. And the fact that you do that pretty much 365 needs to be, acknowledged. And I think that's why you see people step up and want to help and do that. Leading into the national, you mentioned the Pristine Auction. Most have heard, but for those that haven't, you are once again the official charity of the National Sports Card Collectors Convention, again, which is awesome. So obviously you're going to be there. Any other events or things going on pertaining to what you're doing? Even post-national, national, post-national that you want to highlight? Obviously, the Pristine Auction is going to be huge, running for 30 days. A lot more, like you said, you've already crushed that 75 items from last year. You've passed that, and that number will get bigger once the auction finally starts. But anything else you want to sort of promote, talk about, or things to look forward to with the organization?
Well, I mean, with the organization, we've become incorporated. We're filing the paperwork with the IRS for nonprofit status, so that's going to happen. Just continue to move forward. We had our first board meeting a couple weeks ago, and it was some really great discussion on kind of starting to do some brainstorming. Where are we going to take the organization? Things like that. Being the charity partner at the national, as you said, is huge again. I'm just forever grateful to the organizers for the national and just, putting this idea together and identifying us as a charity partner and then back-to-back years is just, just awesome. Dave Gelfman with Ripping Wax, he's the gentleman, and his company sponsored the case breaking pavilion. So again, Dave is donating space for us to be there again. We'll be in the case breaking area, essentially right next to Whatnot. Whatnot will have a big area set up, so we'll be right next to them. So it's just going to kind of be, business as usual, if you will, just kind of getting into the flow of things, meeting meeting people that we've met before, meeting new people, getting the word out there. And, like we talked about, we'll have our booth set up with lots of great items, big and small, everything from $1 on up. So, it doesn't have to be a great, big, huge purchase. People hear the amount that's been raised, and it's literally been a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. I can't stress that enough. I think people think, and people want to help. They just go, well, I have $5. My $5 really isn't going to make a difference. But when my $5 is added to your $5, is added to Eric's $5, and so forth and so on, all of a sudden, we've got a good amount of money to be able to really make a true impact for somebody.
Yeah, that all adds up, and very important to acknowledge too. Everyone, there's probably some people think like you do everything, National Week, and then you sort of pack up for the year until the next National. That's not what's going on here, as these gentlemen both know. This is like I said, all year, organization and fundraising effort. The folks that need this help don't just need it National Week; they need it all the time. And so, while your biggest presence might be felt during National Week, you're doing this stuff all year long. And so I wanted to definitely let people know.
Yeah, being at the National is obviously our biggest fundraiser of the year. But we're literally raising money throughout the year, like you said, through social media and other platforms. We just launched our website, signatures, 4soldiers.com. Really, that's long overdue, but just really excited about it. Really happy with how it turned out. A lot of great information on there allows me and the board to really just get information out there as we're updating it and things like that. So, just looking forward to it. I love going to the National. Love seeing the people that have become friends over the years and just reconnecting with them. And, like I said, just getting the name out there and just connecting with new folks.
Yeah, I think having Eric aboard, I know he doesn't like to toot his own horn, so I'll grab the horn and toot it for him. I think you hit a home run there. I think it was just sort of meant to be. Sometimes we use that term, maybe we overuse it, but I think in this case, it's appropriate. Just for Eric, just some closing thoughts from you being part of this. Maybe where you want to see it go. This is you're an organized guy. You've been in the hobby. You've been with Beckett, a corporate. Like just some of your vision, maybe even that you'd like to see.
Well, like I mentioned earlier, God placed Tim in my life about 6 or 7 years ago, and what I love about Tim, the same thing what I love about you, John, is like the conversations that we have, while they can sometimes revolve around the industry or the hobby, it's most likely family talk or just brotherhood talk, which that's really great. Yeah. I think what I would like to see moving forward is a little more of that brotherhood talk from people who come to Signatures for Soldiers. Like, do you have a disabled veteran in your family? Let's get to know them a little bit. Let's talk about how we could maybe help them. And it might not be building a ramp like you mentioned earlier, but it might be like mental health services or something like that. Let's point you in the right direction. The card side or the autograph side of things that Signatures for Soldiers does, in my mind, is great. It's the foundation. It's what Tim built this on. But there is so much more as an organization that Signatures for Soldiers can offer veterans and military families that we haven't even scratched the surface of yet. So there's a lot to come. We got to have a lot of discussions. But I think in the next year or so, you will see Signatures for Soldiers on a much higher platform than Then Tim brought it all the way to where he did. He did a wonderful job doing that. But now he has a board, and now I think we're primed and ready to help bring this into 2023 and beyond.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I want to run through a wall after hearing that.
I do too, man.
Let's go.
Put me in, coach.
But and I think that shows you, the fire Eric's going to bring as someone who served, someone who care even more than serving, someone who cares, right? There's, I don't mean to say there are a lot of people have served and we owe them all a debt of gratitude. And then there's that next level. Some serve, and then when they're done, they just kind of want to walk away from that, and it's understandable. But to be involved and still care about others and helping others, that's a special person, and I think Eric epitomizes that. And I'm excited to see both of you guys here in 30 days in Atlantic City. And like Eric said, I'm excited to see what the future brings for signatures for soldiers. I mean, you between Eric and the board, and you got more, more firepower, so to speak. More people can get their hands in there and get it done, and it's going to be exciting to see where the organization goes. So if you have any last words, but I appreciate you making some time. But like you said, you guys wear a lot of different hats, including family guys and that sort of thing. I appreciate you, coming on. I appreciate Eric sharing some breaking news for those out there listening to look forward to at the National. If any closing thoughts, go ahead and or give out any socials or where people can donate. You don't have to wait to the National to donate or help the cause. So give out all that.
Well, first, John, I just want to say thanks for having us on. I mean, it's always great to connect with you and talk. And like Eric said, I just felt like, moving signatures for soldiers in this direction, this is the right time to do it, because I just felt like, by myself, this is probably as far as I could have taken it by myself. And now, I just need guys like Eric to kind of help take it to the next level. And that's what I'm excited about. And, everybody has said how, what a great choice I made. I think the choice made me. It's not really me.
Well, it's a two-way street, right? I mean, even though it makes sense, right? Both parties have to sign off on it. So, so I know you're not taking too much credit, but I'm a guy who likes to give it out when it's deserved. So
I appreciate
I'll
that.
give it to you.
But definitely, socials, obviously our website up and running, check it out. It's signatures, 4soldiers.com. Twitter is at SIGS, SIGS, 4 soldiers. And then we're on Facebook, Signatures for Soldiers. And also on Instagram. So, definitely check us out on those platforms. And then, we'll definitely be watching because July 1st and forward, we'll be really pushing the auction on Pristine with the link there. And it's an exciting time. It's a busy but exciting time. So I'm looking forward to it. And to think about that it's 30 days away is crazy.
We must be having fun. Time's flying. For those that if someone has an item, Tim, Eric, that wants to submit it to Pristine, so it goes towards Signatures for Soldiers. Can they go through the website? Do they go through Pristine? How would they go about getting that item so that the organization can benefactor from that donation?
Yeah, if they want, they can reach out to me via email, signatures for soldiers, all spelled out, at yahoo.com. And I can give them the address to Pristine, because they're using a specific address so that they know what comes in is for our auction. They can definitely just reach out to me. No item is too small. That's the reality. I mean, if it raises $1, it's $1 more than what we started with. So, and every dollar counts, as we've talked about. So, definitely some really cool items coming up. I'm excited for it.
Yep, no doubt. Go ahead, Eric. I think you were.
I was just saying. I think John asked that question because he wanted to donate that Jackie Robinson right there. That's what I.
Listen, I love both of you guys. I love Signatures for Soldiers. I
heard the same thing, Eric. I heard the same thing.
I gotta quit having that thing on camera. But no, you guys are great, and again, I thank you for making time. And I'll see. I'll you know what? I'll challenge myself. I'll be putting a few things way for you. Unfortunately, I can't. I waited 40-something years to get that Jackie. So, but I'll do something. Where there's bench clears doing the Hobby Palooza this weekend, and I know you got some monies coming from those guys. And shout out to Ty Wilson, Mike Moynihan there, putting on a great event. And I'm gonna for those that didn't catch it, maybe verbally, I'll make sure if you missed it, check the show notes. I'll have in the show notes Signatures for Soldiers website. You can go there and get a hold of Tim, and if you have anything to donate or you just want to donate a fund, just say, hey, I don't have an item, but like Tim say, $1, $5, $10, $20 on up, whatever you can afford to do. It's greatly appreciated. Goes a long way. It all adds up. So, guys, again, we're 30. I'll see you here in 30 days, really excited for the direction that you guys are going in.
Thank you very much for having us on, sir.
Thanks,
You're welcome.
John.
Thank you. You're welcome. All right, that's going to do it for this week's Hobby Quick Hits, our special episode with Tim and Eric. I want to thank both of those gentlemen as they get ready to bring Signatures for Soldiers into the National. And folks, as you heard during the conversation, right, Pristine Auctions is going to be running their auctions in support of that organization. I'm going to find some items to donate to the cause. Even if you can't give money, you have an extra decent card or two or more, give it through the Pristine Auction, Signatures for Soldiers. It's a great cause, as you heard, doing many things for injured and disabled vets. And, they made that sacrifice defending us, and that's the least we can do is to acknowledge that and try to give back and help out. So if you're so able, whether it's financially or even card-wise, and definitely check out their booth at the National, if you want to buy some autographed cards and things donated by folks who support the cause in that fashion. So with that being said, we're going to bid you well, and we'll see you next time. Be safe, be good, take care.